Welcome to the Los Angeles Sentinel Daily Brief. This is where we talk black and talk back to the headlines that are impacting the black experience. I'm Niele Anderson, and here's what you need to know for today. Today, we're going to have an important conversation that's impacting a lot of Angelenos due to COVID-19 restrictions being eased. And I'm talking about rent and individuals being able to pay their rent. And so today, we're going to have an important conversation with MARCELLA DESHURLEY. She's the director of rent stabilization, the rent stabilization unit for the city of Los Angeles. Welcome to the Daily Brief.
Hello, thank you for having me.
First, I want to start with the importance of renters' rights. So, can you talk to us about why it was so important for the housing department to focus on ensuring that City of LA residents know their residential rental rights?
Yes, absolutely. We want renters to know their rights because the city of LA has adopted many renter protections in order to ensure safe and decent living conditions and to protect tenants from excessive rent increases and illegal evictions. Additionally, tenants who are evicted through no fault of their own are entitled to relocation assistance to help them relocate. All of these laws are designed to help tenants stay safely housed, and it is important that residents know their rights.
What should tenants do if they receive an eviction notice or an unlawful detainer from their landlords?
If tenants receive an eviction notice, tenants should contact the Los Angeles Housing Department. We also refer to as LAHD. We have a hotline. Our phone number is 866 557 7368, which also spells out rent. Or they should file a complaint on our website or by calling us. Our website is housing.lacity.org. If tenants receive an unlawful detainer notice, which is a court document, they must respond to that notice within 5 days. So it's important for them to get legal help immediately. Legal help is available through our partners at Stay Housed LA, and their website is stayhousedla.org, and their phone number is 888 694 0040. So don't ignore an eviction notice. Please call us or our partners at Stay Housed LA.
So let's just say that you get an eviction notice and then the sheriffs pop up at your house. Is it too late, or is there anything that you could do once the sheriffs show up at your house?
There is something you could do. However, you'll need a lawyer to help you file a document in court to get back in. But ultimately, if the sheriff's at your house, that's really means that the landlord went through the eviction process and legally evict you. But there is assistance, but you would need legal assistance for someone to file the right court documents.
But at that point, you would have to leave the property and then
Yes, you
get back.
would.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about existing eviction protections. What eviction protections continue to exist for the city of LA residents for them to stay in their homes?
Yeah, so there's many. So the city council adopted a just cause eviction protection ordinance that became effective on January of 2023, which provides eviction protections to all renters citywide in residential housing. This means that landlords must have a legal reason to evict a renter. And tenants who are evicted for no fault of their own, such as if a landlord wants to move into their rental unit, the tenant's entitled to receive relocation assistance. And relocation assistance ranges from $8,850 to up to $22,950 to help tenants move out.
Okay.
Under
Go ahead.
there's a whole bunch of ordinances, so I could tell you about all of them. So there was also a new ordinance where if tenants fall behind on their rent, they cannot be evicted unless their rental debt exceeds 1 month of fair market rent. So the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom unit is 2,222. So if a tenant pays less than that, they cannot be evicted until the rent they owe is more than that if they have a 2-bedroom unit. And so we have a chart of what the fair market is for each bedroom size.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good stuff. Now, what about rent stabilization ordinance? And how do renters know if their property is one?
So the rent stabilization ordinance is the city's rent control law that applies to rental units built before 1979 and provides protections against excessive rent increases, illegal evictions, and requires relocation assistance, as I mentioned, for tenant no fault eviction. And we have another, and it has a number of other programs. But tenants can find out whether their rental unit is subject to the city's RSO by going online at zimas.lacity.org. That's Zimas, Zimas. Or we also have a text program where you could text RSO to 855-880-7368. It will prompt you to type your address, and it will text you back and let you know if your unit is subject to the city's RSO.
Now, what happens if your rent increases and you're not able to pay the rent because of the rent increase? Are there any type of assistance or information that individuals should know about?
Well, tenants and landlords of RSO units should know that most rent increases are paused until February 1st, 2024. Rent increases greater than 10% are not allowed for any rental units built more than 15 years ago. And for newer units, if a landlord wants to increase the rent by more than 10% and the tenant cannot afford the rent increase, the tenant can request relocation assistance from the landlord to move to a more affordable unit.
Mm, that's good information. You mentioned it, but can you talk to us a little more about the relocation assistance program?
Yes, so under both the city's rent control, which we call RSO, and the new ordinance, just cause eviction protection ordinance, if a landlord wants to evict a tenant for a tenant not at fault reason, like it's not the fault of the tenant, right? The landlord wants to move into the unit, maybe they want to move a family member, maybe they need to move in a manager. Any reason that's not the fault of the tenant, the landlord has to pay relocation assistance, and it ranges from 8,850 to 22,950. And those amounts will go higher effective July 1st of this year.
Okay, so we know that April 1st, all tenants should have started paying their rent. But what happens if they can't pay? They still can't pay their rent due to the pandemic.
Well, tenants still have time to pay their rental debt accrued during the pandemic, and tenants should make every effort to pay their full current rent as much as they can, or inform their landlord of their situation to try to work out a payment plan. However, tenants cannot be evicted again unless their rental debt exceeds 1 month of the fair market rent. So I know I said a 2 bedroom was 2,222. A 1 bedroom is 1,747. So if a tenant owes less than that amount, if they're renting a 1 bedroom, they cannot be evicted. And we have all this information online. So if a landlord tries to evict and their rent is less than this, they could file a complaint with us and we'll notify the landlord that they need to rescind the eviction notice.
Are there any other deadlines that individuals should know about?
Yes. So unpaid rental debt from March 2020, that's at the beginning of the pandemic, through September 30th of 2021, that rental debt must be paid to the landlord by August 1st, 2024 in order to avoid eviction. Unpaid rent from, I'm sorry, August 2023, sorry. So this
That's
year.
coming up.
Yeah. And so unpaid rent accrued from October 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2023, that rental debt must be paid by February 1st, 2024. And also, annual rent increases for RSO units are paused until February 1st, 2024. So those are three important dates.
Out of curiosity, is there any data or statistics that the city of LA knows about as to how many people are actually behind on their rent, or a percentage of how many people are behind on their rent and facing eviction?
We don't know how many are facing eviction. There also is a new law that we passed in the beginning of the year that requires landlords to file eviction notices with the department within 3 days of serving a tenant,
Mhm.
like if it's a 3-day notice to pay rent or quit. So we do have some data based on those notices, that, there are still a large amount of tenants out there that owe some rental debt. The city did have a emergency renters assistance program that we administered in 2021, and then we partnered with the state of California. Housing is Key, and we paid over $5 billion in rental assistance to tenants for unpaid rent from March 2020 through September 2021, and then the state paid up until March of 2022. So we
Mm.
did have a lot of Angelinos that benefited from that program. And I do understand that there still are a lot of Angelinos that still have unpaid rent. I mean, we have statistics, but they all vary. But it is a problem. There's still a lot of people that still owe rental arrears.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a concern as we have this problem with our unhoused and homeless community. And just to know that a lot of Angelinos are facing eviction, it's just like, how do we solve this problem? But you have been giving us great information, Marcella, and we're almost there. But now I want to talk about assistance and information. Can you talk to us about legal assistance and tenant workshops that are available?
Yeah, so LHD, the Los Angeles Housing Department, offers monthly workshop for both tenants and landlords. Information is available on our website. We do workshops every week. And our website is housing.lacity.org. Or if you call us at our hotline, 866-557-7368, you could also sign up for one of our weekly webinars. And our partners at Stay House LA also conduct workshops, and their information is at stayhousela.org or by calling their number at 888-694-0040. And they have our Stay House LA partners offer legal assistance. So they will assist people that may have received an unlawful detainer, the eviction process, and will help tenants with those issues.
I love it. Before I let you go, I mean, you have went through the ABCs of anything you needed to know if you're facing eviction, and it's such a helpful resources for, especially for people who are struggling in need, working from pay to paycheck, doing everything that they can do to survive, but still it's not enough. So I really appreciate you for sharing this information. But before I let you go, is there anything else that you think that somebody out there watching needs to know?
Well, if you missed anything I said, because sometimes people tell me I talk too fast, or it's just so much information, please go to our website. We actually also have pre recorded webinars that you could just listen to. They're on YouTube and they're posted on our website. It goes through everything I just said and more. So that would be what I would highly recommend. Or we have a hotline that's open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. They're also available to answer questions. Or we also have an email feature. If you go to our website, it's Ask LAHD, and you could email us any question that you may have. Maybe it pertains to, something specific that we could help you with. So yes, please visit our website. We have a wealth of information, and thank you for the opportunity today.
Marcella, thank you so much for this information, and you are more than welcome to come back anytime there's something that we need to know, because anything that we can do here at the Los Angeles Sentinel to help with this homeless crisis and our unhoused, if we could keep one person in their home, that's one person less that's on the street. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.